Hello, this is Mr. Zhang from VISA in Korea. Today's lecture's subject is about F-5-10 visa, right? Things you've heard about a lot of times about F-5-10. Usually F-5-10 visa is just for the master degree and the holders in Korea. And if they, right, and work at a certain place, and they can apply for the F-5-10 and with a Gen one-time income. There are a lot of the benefit for their domestic, like a master degree holder in Korea. But there are the types of academic degree. So about the F-5-10, and the main issue is for the F-5-10 is the working experience. What is that? Actually, there are the several F5 and the visa types or requirements have been changed, but there is no any specific information on High Korea and the manual on it. So I received several the questions about that, and I made it the video regarding F-5-10 in Korean version. So the several the foreigners and the living in Korea request for the English version of it. So I just made it this one for the better understanding. Okay, let us start F-5-10. You know, what has been changed and which one you needed to check before applying for the F-5-10. Okay, let us start. But actually, the change to the black one to the C the more nicely. But when you apply for the F-5-10, you know that some of the the format like Epic Cup, right? A P Cup, and there is something sometimes needed or sometimes it's not required. But E is eligibility, right? Eligibility. The F-5-10, there are like a big the categories are two, and the first one, bachelor, from overseas, majored in advanced technology, such as IT and bio, chemistry, etc. Right? That kind of person, if they have a bachelor's degree and more than 1 year of working experience, and they can come to Korea with a E7, actually E7-1, or bachelor or master or PhD, it doesn't matter, right? The important thing is, and you're the major and shall be the one of the advanced technologies, and E7-1 or sometimes E1 professor or E3 researcher usually do that. And if they understand in Korea and working at the field and change F2, there's no problem, right? But the important thing is advanced technology and a bachelor's. So if you just used your bachelor's in advanced technology, you cannot be used the master's and PhD when you apply for the F-5-10. And also, if you just submitted master's with advanced technology majors, the PhD as well, and but you can use that one, right? So important thing is when you get an E7-1 or E7 E3, which and the degree and major you used it is very, very important. It doesn't matter about the bachelor's and the master's, the PhD, and the degree obtained from the overseas. So when you come to Korea and the E7-1, E1, or E3, at the time, so which kind of the major did you use it, right? It must be advanced technology with the E7-1, E1, E3, right? Good. But second one, there is some of the technical license, but it's very difficult. Just ignore it. But second one, and a bachelor and much bachelors for the engineering or the masters in Korea. But masters no need specific and the major, right? But bachelor's in Korea, if you have this one, engineering and advanced technology, it doesn't matter. But at least neither engineering side, right? Get this one. For example, like a mechanical engineering and like this, right? Good. So you have to do that. So it means if you have this one and the previously and there are the two types of things, right? And the bachelor overseas advanced or tech only, right? And the bachelor's or the master's in Korea. If you have this your degree in Korea, there are two steps, right? So the period that I just explained you, previously, this is a previously, and the need 3 years. If you have E7-1, for example, after graduation, right? Graduation from the overseas and a working experience. But if you have this E7-1, you need 3 years. Okay? And previously that one like this, you got the degree in Korea and you just received at the date and you need wait like a 3 years from your date of your degree and you have to working at the time of when you apply for the F-5-10 at the time of your application for the F-5-10 you must work more than 1 year, right? With a and permanent employment. And also this one is the 1 year, the permanent employment. Okay, that one. And income is a GNI one time is the same thing. And the Korea, the KIIP stage 5 completion and academic degree like this. Eligibility, the person and have to meet is a 1 or 2. And the permanent employment, right? Like this. That is one is a previous one. So what is the difference from the newest one? Everything is not changed, but two things in the period and permanent employment. It has been changed. Eligibility and the income KP stage 5 completion and academic degree is the same thing I just explained. So the new and the changed and the guideline, but I just request for more additional questions about F-5-10, but until I receive the answers from the headquarters of Immigration Service, and today's main and the topic is about period, working period, and permanent employment for the F-5-10. That one income, KIP, academic, it has not been changed. Okay, only change one is this one and this one. Okay, we move to the next one. So the P, period, and P, permanent employment. What is the changed? For the and the Bachelor of Overseas, a bachelor's and master's, it doesn't matter. And the bachelor's and the master in Korea. So major as IT and the biotechnology or something advanced technology. And the bachelor's is just engineering. And the master's no need specific and the major. Okay, the period, and I previously explained you, right? And that one, bachelor's from the overseas, right, need 3 years in working and 1 year of permanent employment. And the domestic and the degree holder and the bachelor's engineering and science and master's in Korea, if we do, after degree, and you have to wait 3 years, and that at the time of your application for the F-5-10, you have to meet 3 years from your degree acquisition date, and you have to work more than 1 year as a permanent employment. What is the changes? It has not been changed for the bachelor's degree or master's or PhD from the overseas majored in IT and bio as advanced technologies, right? So it's same thing, right? But when you have this one, you have this E71 or the professor or E3 researchers, right? Need and the 3 years and working experience at the time of application F-5-10, and you have to work more than 1 year. 1 year. The permanent employment has been changed in some of the title into the full-time worker. But even though the full-time worker, you need to have like a employment insurance and like a full-time certificate, full-time worker certificate from your company, right? So how to prove the full-time worker? And the previous it was permanent employment, but it changed to full-time the worker because I think it's because of there is someone, but that one and if they have a chance and they can change F-7 or F-99, but F-99 need 5 years, so F-7 someone, right? In this case, how can you prove the permanent employment? So I think the immigration service, they consider how to do it. So they just decided to change from the permanent employment into the full-time worker. How to prove that a full-time worker is the employment insurance you must do the more than 1 year. And the second one, full-time work certificate that has indicated it. It is different from you're actually working at the day 3 years, and right now, based on the date of application for the F-5-10, at the time, and sometimes you can change your company, and so 3 years of working experience required. You can combine into you're working, right? So while you're working at some company, E71, and you can continuously working at the company or something. But if you change other company, you can combine, but you must work at the field of the advanced technologies. So I mean is after 3 years from your working, and you can combine. So at the time of your application for the F-5-10, you must work at least 1 year of a full-time work at a current company. So how to prove the full-time worker? There was no any specific information on that, but I just and just to suggest, and based on the previous and permanent employment, I already the sent the questions about the full-time workers meaning is. So how to prove it, right? So I just send it. Once I receive the answers, and I will get back to you. But it is not that big change for that. For the bachelor's degree and from the overseas, and bachelor's and engineering and science, and the master degree in Korea. It has changed, right? So you may just see that. There is no any indication from the 3 years and your graduation, but actually it's a degree, acquisition date, and previously need 3 years, but too long, right? So right now is there is no need required for the 3 years, but the important thing is you have to work totally 3 years. And at the time of your application, and you have the 1 year or more, you have to be a full-time worker. There is a new change. Previously, there is no any the period required for 3 years, but newly and added, you are the whole working, and the period shall be 3 years. It can be added, right? The 1 year, and the change of company, it doesn't matter, and 6 months and 6 months. At the time of your application, and the first one, you have to more than 1 year of the full-time working at the current company, and total period after your degree acquisition, and you need to work more than 3 years. Can you understand that? But bachelor's overseas is only changed to the permanent employment, and some of the meaning of this the permanent employment to the full-time worker. But domestic degree holder, bachelor's for the engineering and science, and the master degree holder need 3 years working experience, and at the time of your application for the F-5-10, you have to work 1 year or more as a full-time worker. Two, the things are changed. It means so usually someone the previously, right? Previously, and after graduation 3 years at the time, and you can apply for that 1 year after that. So it means 3 years if you and the 1 year before that, and the 3 years before your from the graduation. I think that you can meet 3 to 4 years. You can meet this requirement, but that one at 3 years of working experience means okay, degree, 3 years, and you have to work 1 year and full time. So it means, but sometimes you just stop and sometimes you just stop. So total your working experience at the time of your application. If you graduated from one of the Korean universities, a bachelor course or a master course, bachelor course is engineering and science, and the master degree, the major is not the matter. So it will be delayed than previous your F-5-10 application for the domestic degree holder. Okay, in conclusion, I want to say just and the domestic degree holder, bachelor's and the engineering and the bachelor the master's degree, it doesn't matter about your major. So need after the acquisition date and need 3 years totally working. And at the time of your application, you have to work at a company for more than 1 year as a full-time worker. This is a new rule. Okay. There are more detailed information on that, but I just request for the detailed answers regarding this. Okay. There is very sensitive issues right now. So there is a new rule, but I just explain right now. But that one is a previous one. Okay. So you need to check if you are preparing for the F-5-10. You must check, and you have to check your schedule and the schedule, and you have to plan and they have to set some your application dates. This is a very important part. Okay, I will make another video after receiving the answer from Headquarters Immigration Service. This is Ms. Zhang, Visa in Korea. So if you have any questions, you can contact me. And the 5 minutes for free and for our conversation. But after that, there will be charged for the consultation. Okay, this is Mr. Zhang, Visa in Korea. See you next time. Okay, bye bye.